And because they thought I was so young, they were like, you know what? It's cool. You're young. You're not gonna get married anytime soon. Go ahead, have your fun. Taste all the flavors of the rainbow.
How many of the flavors of the rainbow have you tasted?
Not that many.
Okay.
No, not that many. And they were like, go ahead, you know, do what you want to do. But I knew that they still felt uncomfortable with it. So, cut to a few years later, I'm not with that guy anymore. I'm now dating a Korean guy. Now that's when shit hit the fan, because they were just like, what are you doing? Korean people are shady. Like, now I'm older and they see that I'm gonna start graduating high school. And
so in your culture, there is an Asian
shady list, yeah.
Shady spectrum?
Yeah. But what sucks is
I'm interested. Who's the least shady of the Asians?
Japanese.
So it goes Japanese,
yeah.
And then what's after that? Chinese? Vietnamese?
Like Filipino,
okay.
Vietnamese.
Filipino, Vietnamese, and then what comes after that?
And then Chinese, and the worst of the worst for them is like Korean.
The Koreans are the shadiest?
Yeah.
Interesting. So it's not even
This is back in the day.
So it's not even by skin color?
No.
So if I go to any Mexican home, can I see this table?
I don't know.
Like posted somewhere on
I'm not
wall?
like the most Mexican. My family's not that Mexican either. They're super American because both of my parents came here when they were in high school. But that's just kind of what their mentality was back in the day. And I'm like, dude, like that's horrible. Like you're missing this beautiful person. And parents, like you guys raised me. You should know that I make good calls. Like I'm basing my morals and my character off of what you've taught me and instilled in me. So why wouldn't you have confidence in, you know, my significant other? So I think once they started seeing that, like, hey, you know what, like these people aren't what I thought they were, and I started exposing them to like the beautiful parts of their culture and teaching them what I was learning from my boyfriends, and they were like, I think it really opened up their eyes, and they were able to see like the beauty in like mixing things up. I don't know where to take it. Oh, I feel like I'm just talking a lot.
That's fine. That's what I'm saying. It's not a job. It's just an experience type of thing. It's a very experienced based one.
That's funny.
You ready? So, okay. So after you went to college, you dated a Taiwanese guy, you dated a Korean guy, and then now you date me. Mm-hmm. So there's 3 Asian guys in a row. Can you please speak on how you had a record of dating just beaners like yourself?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you flipped over and you just started dating a bunch of chinks and gooks.
Well, I don't think it was like a conscious choice where I'm like, I'm only dating Asians, and if you're not Asian, please step out of the line. No, it wasn't anything like that. I think it just came to like a character. Like our characters just we clicked, and then a lot of our ideals were very similar, and like actually like the cultural part of it, like how we have like the respect scale, like you speak to your elders this way, and then like your older brother and sister this way, like you don't address them. Right, exactly. Like you don't address them by their first name. It's either Tia, Dio, or whatever, and then like your older brother or sister, you don't call them by their first name. You have like a little nickname for them and whatnot. So a lot of these things, it was just very easy to click with these people, but. I mean, at least I don't think it was like a conscious choice where I'm like, I only want Asians, but it just so happened to be that way.
Because I'm sure this is also very eye-opening for a lot of Asian guys out there. Like, first, that we pointed out that you find Asian guys attractive.
Super hot.
And second, you've actually had a record of dating Asian guys and different Asian guys, and all of them are long-term relationships.
Yep.
So if there's someone like you out there, there's a ton of other non-Asian girls that'd be willing to date Asian guys.
Dude, my homegirl Tiffany. You guys all know Tiffany from JK Films. Like, she's Mexican and she's with Casey, who's Kanto.
So like, I guess if there's all these like Asian guys, or not even just Asian guys, but like
guys,
any guys or any girls that are interested in dating outside of the race, interracially, like how would you, like, do you have any advice you can give to them, or like
absolutely.
Because it almost seems like that a lot of the comments that I see, it's almost like, please show me the way. And although there is no like A through Z type of exact way, but maybe you could shed some light on how they can go about getting the girl or guy that they want if they're not at the same culture.
Okay, so just taking it down to a super basic level, right? Like, let's just forget that ethnicity even exists. Let's just pretend that everyone's gray. So if everyone's gray, right, now you're only basing your attraction to them based off of how well you guys connect on character, ideals, morals, your just outlook on life, right? So now you guys are connecting on that basic level, and there's this curiosity of like, God, like I want to get to know more about this person and how well we connect and how like the type of energy that we have with each other. So it's this curiosity that drives you closer to like your crush or your potential other half, right? So take that curiosity and now let's throw in the element of ethnicity. That's kind of what pushes me forward as well, is like not only the curiosity to get this person, to get to know them even better, it's like now they come with these gifts of having something to offer different from how you grew up, and now I'm curious about that too. And that gift being their ethnic background, where it's like, oh shoot, like I'm black and they're Indian, like what? Like this is how your parents have dinner? Like, oh, this is the type of wedding that like your family has. And that curiosity is something that I found to be very that would drive me forward to get to know them even more. It wasn't like I was afraid like, oh man, are we not gonna connect? I think it's more of like a perspective. Like I saw the glass as half full opposed to half empty.
So it's almost like utilizing the differences as a strength, rather than something to hide behind. That's what it almost seems
I guess
like.
that's why I'm calling it curiosity, because when you're curious, you feel like you're gonna get like a positive result, because you're seeking something and you're trying to find something and gain something. So if you can view it as you're being curious and you want to learn about something, then I think that you would be more but I think you would be more willing to move forward in the direction of, I want this, I want to learn more about this. Like,
are you saying the guys should be more curious about the girls, or they should make themselves more interesting and make the girls more curious about them?
Both ways, but I think what I'm saying more for the guys that are self-conscious, I'm just saying, hey, instead of focusing on the differences and saying like, oh, we're not gonna connect because of these differences, see it as, hey, people like Gio are very curious about my culture and they find me hella freaking hot, so let me share myself with them. Let me show them like, hey, when you enter my house, you leave the shoes outside, because it's kind of dirty to bring in outside dirt inside your home. Because a lot of non-Asian, like when I was growing up and I learned that about Asian people, I'm like, yo, that is so dope. So there's like a lot of things that you have to offer other people that aren't Asian. And sometimes when you stay within your culture, it's beautiful still, and I think it's great, but you know, you don't really get to learn as much.
That's true. You know, like one of the craziest things is like, so me and Joe would do shows all over the nation like every single year, and a lot of the colleges that we go to and the Asian clubs or the Asian American clubs, we always see a shit ton of like white girls, Hispanic girls, black girls, like all over, and they're just so interested. And I think if you have one in your club, that's already a huge indicator and a huge sign that shows that there's a lot of people that are extremely open-minded out there. And even approaching one that you think is not open-minded, I think your differences is what makes you unique. And the more unique you are, generally speaking, the more attractive you become to people. And if people just want the same shit, then maybe that's not even the right person for you if they're like super boring.
Yeah. So if you have this curiosity, don't get me wrong, don't think that I'm seeing it as like, oh shit, you're the sideshow and you're like the freak of nature that I'm just so intrigued over. Like, that's not at all what I'm saying. What I'm saying is just have the confidence to know that what makes you different from someone else is what makes you unique, like Bart said, and what makes you super duper fucking attractive and beautiful. And you need to connect with someone that can see that these differences is what is beautiful and is attractive. So if you're trying to go for someone and they're kind of like turned off by how different you guys are, then it's like you don't even want to deal with that person anyway.
Yeah, because I mean, in addition to our ethnic differences, you're also taller than me too.
I know, we're physically like completely opposite.
She's taller than me, she's buffer than me, she's heavier than me, she's different.
Don't say that, that's not true.
Fine, but I think like what you're saying is so true, because aside from all of the physical traits, what really attracted us to each other was what was inside. So like we really connected as people, as humans, as you said, and so all the other things didn't really matter so much.
And they were bonuses, because it's like the human attraction was there, right? And then he brought to the table all these new things that I didn't experience when I grew up, and I'm like, wow, like dude, that's like such a dope way to grow up or to live, or to like a dope philosophy or dope outlook. And it was And it's like you're constantly learning every single day. And when you learn, everyone knows that you grow as a person. So I think it's just a win-win when you just go out there and explore. So if you guys would like to hear Bart's 2 cents on the interracial matter, go ahead and check out his channel. He actually he talked to guys that, you know, feel like they have a lot of barriers and that there's girls out there that don't find him attractive. So definitely check out his advice for all of you guys thinking that way. Peace. First date. You and your crush sitting there, finished an amazing meal. The bill comes. What happens? Both of you guys just sit there, blank stares, and you guys are like, aw, shit.